Right now, as you're watching this, the average American is producing about 4.5 pounds of trash every single day. Multiply that by 330 million people, and we're talking about 1.5 billion pounds of waste generated daily just in the United States. Globally, we're sending over 2 billion tons of municipal solid waste to landfills every year, and that number is projected to climb to 3.4 billion tons by 2050. We spend hundreds of billions of dollars collecting this trash, hauling it to landfills, and then just burying it in the ground where it sits for decades, slowly decomposing and releasing methane into the atmosphere. Methane, by the way, is 25 times more potent as a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. But here's what most people don't realize: every piece of that trash contains stored chemical energy. That banana peel isn't garbage, it's fuel waiting to be unlocked. That cardboard box isn't waste, it's energy in disguise. And Waste2H, founded by Jean-Louis Kindler, who previously worked on pioneering waste-to-hydrogen systems in Japan, has cracked the code on how to extract that energy and turn it into something incredibly valuable: carbon-negative hydrogen fuel. Let me explain how their process works, because it's honestly like something out of science fiction, except it's happening right now in real facilities. They take mixed waste streams, municipal solid waste, plastics, organic refuse, basically anything you'd normally throw away, and feed it into what they call a thermochemical gasification reactor. This isn't incineration, it's not burning anything. Instead, they remove metals and glass first, then put the remaining waste into a high-temperature, oxygen-starved chamber where something almost magical happens. At around 1000 degrees Celsius, with virtually no oxygen present, the molecular bonds in the waste break down through a process called gasification. The organic matter gets converted into what's called syngas, a synthetic gas mixture containing hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and other compounds. But here's where Waste2H's innovation really shines. They've solved one of the biggest technical challenges in gasification by using ceramic heat carriers, essentially tiny ceramic beads that regulate the reactor temperature and make the system incredibly robust against unpredictable waste inputs. The genius of their system is that it's completely self-sustaining. The process generates its own heat using residual char and tail gases from the waste itself, so once it's running, it doesn't need any external fuel. It literally powers itself using the garbage you feed into it. The syngas then gets cleaned and purified to extract pure hydrogen gas, while carbon gets captured and permanently sequestered instead of being released into the atmosphere. Now here's where this gets absolutely mind-blowing. In October 2024, Waste2H achieved something that stunned the entire hydrogen industry. They produced 110 kilograms of carbon-negative hydrogen from just 1 ton of municipal solid waste. Let me repeat that: carbon-negative hydrogen. Not just carbon neutral, but actually carbon negative, meaning the process removes more CO2 from the atmosphere than it produces. We're talking about life cycle emissions of negative 30 kilograms of CO2 equivalent per kilogram of hydrogen produced. To put this in perspective, conventional green hydrogen produced through electrolysis using renewable electricity costs between $4 to $6 per kilogram and requires massive amounts of clean electricity. Waste2H is producing hydrogen for potentially less than $2 per kilogram while simultaneously solving the waste problem and actually removing carbon from the atmosphere. They're not just making clean fuel, they're making clean fuel that literally helps reverse climate change. The economics are absolutely revolutionary. Right now, cities pay anywhere from $50 to $150 per ton to dispose of organic waste in landfills. With Waste2H's technology, that same waste becomes a revenue stream. Instead of paying to get rid of garbage, cities and companies could actually get paid to feed their waste into these systems and receive valuable hydrogen fuel in return. The entire economic model flips from waste being a cost center to waste being a profit center. But this isn't just some laboratory experiment or prototype that might work someday. Waste2H is already building real plants and forming real partnerships. In August 2023, they partnered with H2E Power Systems to launch manufacturing and deployment in India. They're building a pilot plant near Pune, Maharashtra, that will process 10 tons of waste per day and produce 1 ton of carbon-negative, fuel cell-grade hydrogen daily with permanent CO2 sequestration. Their technology is also featured in the Solar Impulse Solutions Explorer, highlighting systems that can deliver 500 kilograms to 1 ton of hydrogen per day across up to 40 refueling sites in the UK and Europe. That's potentially enough to support 1,600 hydrogen buses per day. We're not talking about some distant future possibility, these are real facilities being built right now to serve real customers with real waste. What makes this technology so powerful is its universal applicability. Unlike solar power that needs sunny locations or wind power that needs windy areas, waste to hydrogen can work anywhere humans live. Every city, every town, every agricultural region produces organic waste. This technology could turn every municipality into a hydrogen production center using feedstock that's already there, already being collected, and already costing money to dispose of. Think about what this means for different industries. Agricultural facilities could process crop residues and animal waste to produce hydrogen for their operations. Food processors could turn their organic waste into fuel instead of paying to dispose of it. Paper mills could process wood waste and sawdust into hydrogen for industrial processes. Grocery stores could install small units to process expired food and produce hydrogen for their delivery trucks. The applications are endless because waste is everywhere. For developing countries, this could be absolutely transformational. Many developing nations struggle with both waste management and energy access simultaneously. They don't have the infrastructure to properly handle waste, and they don't have reliable access to clean energy. Waste to hydrogen technology could solve both problems at once. Instead of building expensive waste treatment facilities and importing fossil fuels, developing countries could use their organic waste to produce clean energy locally. It's a true leapfrog technology that could help these nations skip the fossil fuel development phase entirely. The environmental impact goes far beyond just producing clean fuel. Every ton of organic waste that goes into a waste-to-H system instead of a landfill prevents the release of methane, that greenhouse gas that's 25 times more potent than CO2. At the same time, the process actually sequesters carbon permanently, and the hydrogen produced emits only water vapor when used. It's literally a triple environmental win, preventing methane emissions, sequestering carbon, and producing zero-emission fuel. Critics might argue that this isn't technically green hydrogen since it's not produced from renewable electricity and water electrolysis. They're right from a technical classification standpoint, this is more accurately called turquoise or waste-derived hydrogen. But from an environmental perspective, it might actually be better than traditional green hydrogen because it's solving multiple environmental problems simultaneously while requiring less renewable electricity input. The timing for this technology couldn't be better. Governments around the world are implementing new regulations requiring organic waste diversion from landfills. California has mandated organic waste diversion starting in 2022. The European Union is implementing similar requirements. These regulations create a massive market for technologies that can process organic waste while creating valuable products, and Waste2H is perfectly positioned to capitalize on this trend. The potential market size is staggering. If even 10% of global organic waste were converted to hydrogen using this technology, it could produce over 20 million tons of hydrogen annually. At current hydrogen prices, that's a market worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But the real value isn't just in the hydrogen production, it's in the complete transformation of how we handle waste and energy. Jean-Louis Kindler and his team at Waste2H have essentially figured out how to turn one of humanity's biggest problems into one of our most valuable resources. They've created a technology that could make every piece of trash a source of clean energy, every landfill a potential energy production facility, and every waste stream a revenue opportunity. Looking ahead, the rollout plan is already taking shape. The Pune pilot in India will validate the technology at commercial scale. The UK and EU refueling network will prove the logistics and public acceptance. US municipal pilots could transform how American cities handle waste. Industrial partnerships are already forming with companies in food, agriculture, and waste management industries. And modular systems for emerging economies could address waste and energy shortages simultaneously across the developing world. The implications extend far beyond just energy production. This technology could create entirely new industries around waste valorization, generate thousands of jobs in waste-to-energy sectors, reduce the need for expensive waste management infrastructure, and provide energy security for communities that don't have access to traditional renewable energy resources. What's most remarkable about Waste2H's breakthrough isn't just the technology itself, it's the elegant simplicity of the solution. We have two massive global challenges: what to do with billions of tons of waste, and how to produce clean energy affordably. Most solutions tackle one problem or the other. Waste2H tackles both simultaneously while actually improving the environment and creating economic value. The next time you throw something in the trash, remember that you might be looking at the fuel of the future. That food scrap, that cardboard, that yard waste isn't garbage, it's energy waiting to be unlocked. And thanks to innovative companies like Waste2H, we're finally learning how to turn our trash into treasure, our waste into wealth, and our biggest environmental problems into our most promising energy solutions. The revolution isn't coming, it's already here, one piece of garbage at a time.